Hello and welcome in. Hello. I tried fixing the font stuff and it wasn't working. Hold on, let me try something. All right, so that pauses that. Why is the volume not going down? That was weird. Anywho. Yeah, I tried fixing it. I don't know what is going on. I'll have to figure something else out. But it's all good. It's literally just text on the alerts. So all will be well. Cammy, welcome in. Spooky, thank you for the 2 months. Will you update the Tanglewood in the starting soon with the rework? No, probably not. I'll probably leave it alone. Because it's such a minimalist approach when you're doing pixel stuff like that, I don't see the point in trying to redo it to add like a crap ton of items that are going to be pixelated and you're not going to be able to see them anyway. Yeah, I don't see the point. All right. You're nervous about Tanglewood? What are you nervous about? What you nervous about? Gotta figure out why this isn't working now. No. I didn't do the pixel art. Oh, absolutely not. I am not an artist in any way, shape, or form. Absolutely not. Read about the kitchen? What about it? They're going to update it, right? Yeah. And I left off. We finished APOC 1. I want APOC 2. You'll miss the looping spot. They're adding another one. Okay. What else are you worried about? So, and that kitchen is not that big. I wouldn't want to loop in that kitchen anyway. Yeah. CJ has already stated that they are adding another looping spot. Yeah. That's least of my worries. You know how many maps we play that don't have any good, reliable looping spots and are still fun to play? Yeah, I could care less. Joe, think of the 8 months. Might be better since they're going to be doing it with their own assets. So I'm excited. That's what I'm excited about too. But again, I will reiterate till I turn blue that it's really hard for us to judge it until we can play it. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are excited. There's a lot of people that are crying. We don't know. We might hate it when it comes out. We might love it. How are we supposed to know until we play? So we just need to wait, man. HM, think of the 11 months. Hello. Excited for the update. Reminds you of a house in the 90s. It does give that feel. Yeah. People are scared of change. They are. It's because it's their comfort map. It's their comfort map. That's why. Yeah. It's going to change. Okay, so what? Well, I like it the way it is. Shit's got to change, man. It's not their assets. It's inevitable. Valid because it follows the dev's vision for the game. Yeah. Yeah. We can all reserve judgment. Absolutely. Of course. We should. Hey, Macy, how are you? Hi, Len Walrus. Hello. Hey, how are you? Making breakfast for lunch? Hell yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I tried to figure out the font stuff. I downloaded the font that I normally use for alert stuff. I got nothing. I don't have rhymes or reasons as to why it's happening. I don't know. Glorified Fox, hello. All right, let me take care of that. Thank you, Mayor. Let's do the thing. Like, why? Like, again, the YouTube. I'm going to take away YAG PDB. It can go to hell. Hope the new map doesn't drop when I'm on Toronto next month. I don't know when it's going to drop, man. Hope the new looping spot will be good. Yeah, me too. Agreed upon. If it's not, I'm still not that worried about it. Like, I don't spend my entire life in that map sitting by the kitchen. Yeah, we don't own the update. No, we have no idea. Nope, we're waiting on word from them. But because we saw that leaked image from them, we just can only assume that it's going to be pretty soon. What's extra funny, somebody tried to be like, it's not a teaser. Like somebody, I don't know what it was. It's so funny trying to like trying to have a conversation sometimes with people because it's like, or respond to somebody because they were like, it's not a teaser. They know, they said it's Tanglewood. I'm like, they literally didn't say any text. It's literally an image. Yeah, but we know that it's going to be, we know that it's going to be Tanglewood, right? And like, they said nothing with an image posted. That is a teaser. We know it's Tanglewood based off of other images from a dev preview they posted months ago. Oh, well, I didn't see the post. Fucking Google's free. The internet's at your fingertips. This isn't hard. It's really not. It's really not. If you have a blood moon on a map, can you use the monkey paw to change the weather so it gets rid of the blood moon and its effects? My understanding, you can use the monkey paw to change the blood moon to not be blood moon, but the effects will still be in play. Probably using Bing. Hey, Bing is still useful. What is this Google you speak of? Hi, Tika. Don't wreck it as Grafton. I can't play. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, when I first walked into Grafton, one of my initial, like, voiced opinions was that, wow, this map is cluttered AF. But it grew on me, and it was totally fine. I didn't mind it that much. You cannot change it to Blood Moon. No. Nope, you can change it away. I use AskCheeps. AskCheeps.com is also another reliable source. Yeah. Lou, thank you for the 10 months. Hello, welcome in. Oh, sorry, I'm like still congested stuff. Can't get over it, man. Excited to see the Tanglewood reload. I'm excited to see all of them. I'm excited to see every rework. And then from there, we can judge. What happened to Grafton? I think Grafton is amazing. It's just too dark. A lot of trouble finding the bone. Right. No, you can't ask Jeeves. You can ask Cheebs. Cheebs. CHEEB. S. Like the shirt. Thanks, man. Love a good old St. Jude. Congestion's real around here. It's seriously, it won't stop. It's because the weather keeps shifting back and forth, and it's destroying me. The maps don't look as bare. Yeah, it's true. So the last time we played Faz, we got to APOC 1. APOC's ones. Thank you all for the hype train, friends. The weather switch has been hell. It's been hell right here. Like headache, migraine sort of stuff. It's just something I've had my entire life. And when it's over, it's then back to norms. We're fine. Yeah, it was snowing today. Like, what the hell? All right, I need to go over here. Emily, thank you for the biddies. Also had a nasty time. Hey, Ben, welcome in. How are you? All right, that should be kicking. Was that Key and Peele? All right. Go there. Do that. All right. Just about ready, friends. I need to get Faz kicking and all the stuff. Excited to see, excited to what they do to hype. Yeah, me too. I mean, I can't, that's the stuff I'm excited about. The maps that we don't like getting the revamps. I know people are so worried about the maps that we like getting revamps. It is what it is, man. Love Key and Peele. Key and Peele's great. They're glorious. All right, once that gets going, we should be good. Yep, should be good enough. All right, let me send out the noti and then we'll be ready to rock and we'll get going with this. I have a strong inkling that I'm not going to do so hot, but you know what, though? We're going to try our best, right? We will try our best. Aw, Hikaru! Thank you for the subs, friend. Can't wait to see it. Me too, man. Playing viewers? No. No, if I was, you would know, because it would say it in the title. Yeah. What the hell is going on? Ari Dawn, friend, thank you for the subs. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Let's get Faz open. I'm not gonna, I don't think there's a point in doing any warm-ups. I don't think there's a point in being like, oh, let's blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we're just gonna get into it, man. When is the next time? If we reach the monthly goal, then we'll, the first week of next month, we'll have a viewer day. Yeah. It's the way I always do it. Infinity, I'm good. How are you? Straight APOC 2? Yeah, F it. Why not? We might as well. Oh, J Fried, don't ever worry about it, man. Don't ever worry about it. I appreciate you. Nate, I'm good. How are you? Doing swell. Logix. How's the blizzard? We don't have a blizzard. It's snowing, but it was like super light. We were supposed to get like 4 or 5 inches of snow. And I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. Nightmare, how are you? Is APOC included? Included in what? Included in what? This should be good. We should be good. 4 or 5 inches, bro? Yeah, just take what you're used to and double it. Yeah, around 4 or 5 inches. Yeah. Adam, thank you for the super chat, dude. Played amateur today, first time in a very long time. Why the hell does amateur seem harder than Nightmare Insanity? Because the ghost is supposed to be doing less. That's why it seems so difficult. You are used to a faster paced game. So when you get hit by amateur, it's so up in the air what's going to happen, right? 8 or 12 for PA. Really? Is it actually sticking? Like, it's been so warm here that it hasn't been sticking. That's the biggest thing. Dear Slayer, hello, friend. Splash, thank you for the 31 months. Mill, thank you for the 18. Hello. Metrio, welcome in. Y'all got snow. What? 2 feet in Boston? Like today? What? Got the PSVR 2 to play. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. I would love to try it on PlayStation just to see how it feels. I'd have to get a VR for the kiddos PlayStation. Does he play with viewers? Yeah, typically once a month. New York is under a massive snow. Dude, I got to check my weather now. Y'all got me thinking that we're going to get hit and I'm just not ready for it. The wind on Friday was wicked. The wind at my house is always awful. It feels like a wind tunnel here at 24/7. So that anytime they're like, it's going to be windy, like it's always windy here. I don't know why. Our umbrella like flew off of our deck the one day. Allison, thank you for the heart me in the rose, friend. Shit, give me a second. I'm going to check my weather. Now y'all got me thinking stuff's going to happen. Okay, right now it's raining. It was supposed to, okay, it's supposed to snow later. But we're not in any kind, well, okay, there is a winter storm warning near us. The conditions are expected by blah time, but like, I don't even see how much we're supposed to get. Okay, it says now it says like 3 inches, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing, man. Been snowing here off and on. Yeah, it was snowing a little bit. Now it's raining. And then I guess it's supposed to snow later. Whatever. That's fine. When you're an indoor troll, it doesn't really matter that much. Although I do have to drive to work tomorrow. So, yeah. When know the weather better than you do. Hey, you think I stare at the weather? Get out of here. Get out of here. A dusty 3 to 5 overnight. Yeah. Yeah, depending on what it is, man. Change the ID. Wait, why'd you change the ID? Biz, I'm good, dude. How are you? What am I playing today? Well, we are going to be attempting to continue the APOC runs that we were doing. So I got to APOC 2. So that's where we're at now. Yep, we got through APOC 1 last time. We are doing a all difficulty Tanglewood challenge. The whole reason for this is because I think Tanglewood's going to be changing real soon. I don't know how soon. Oh, I need to change this too. I don't know how soon that's supposed to happen, but the fact that they posted a teaser image of the new Tanglewood makes me feel like that's going to be happening pretty soon. Is anyone going to join with me to do the APOC 2 and 3 runs? No, I'll be doing solo. Yeah. No, this is not. No, there's been, pro tip. If you follow Phaz on all their socials, if you're in the Discord server, if you're following them on X, Twitter, whatever, you will see when the things are coming ASAP. That is the fastest possible way to know when they're coming because we don't get told that stuff until later too. Yeah. Hey, Zane. Attempted APOC 3, got the ghost right, but But you oopsed? Wait, what do you mean you oopsed? Doesn't use X. That's why you can go to Discord. Don't use Discord. Go to Instagram. If you don't use Instagram, then I can't help you. Then follow one of us, and then hopefully we'll inform you as soon as we can. That's all I got. That's all I got. Curly Kale, hello. How are you? All right, let me fix this guy, and then we're just gonna get into it. You know, my worry with these is because I really don't. I know I go for perfect games here or there, but like I don't go for them super often on high difficulty games. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm not gonna do well, but you know what though? We're sure gonna try. Good luck. Thank you. Appreciate you, Kyle. Natalie, thank you. Ray, thank you for the biddies. Break. Oh, Break. I saw your DM too, by the way, friend. About doing the reanimals. I seen it right before I went live. I was trying to rush around the house and do all kinds of stuff before I went live. Oh my goodness gracious. Breakifer. Just don't die. Roger that. If you open up the weather app and zoom out, there's nothing but snow on the upper East Coast. Great. Awesome. Listen, I am listening. Thank you for the subs, friend. Oh my goodness. Natalie, thank you, friend. Terrible for joining servers. Oh, no wrong with that. I'm in so many that I should probably leave because I'm just not active in them, or I don't look at them at all because I joined to get information about like a company or something or an app that I use, whatever it may be. And then I just stay there. So then I end up in over like 100 servers. I got to fix it. I missed the sub sounds. Well, listen, I'll break. I tried to fix the text stuff. I got nothing. I'm going to have to do some like offline testing. I tried. I downloaded the right fonts and everything. I got nothing, man. I don't know. Kev, thank you for the subs. Hi, homie. Which cursed objects should get buffed? Why should any of them get buffed? My favorite cursed item is the music box, mainly just because I like the mechanics of it. I like the way that it acts. I like what comes of it, all the things you can get from it. It's really useful. I like it. It's my fave. Wonder if it needs to be added to OB. I'm wondering, honestly, I wonder if I just need to do like a restart. I downloaded the font and I did all the stuff, restarted apps, but I didn't restart the PC. So I'm wondering if that's all it takes. That might be just it, which I'll try later. It's fine. Bassland, thank you for the subs. Callie, welcome in. Hello, friend. Can use it as a boombox and a troll friends. Right. See, and there's so many good uses for the music box. That's why I love it. The voodoo doll needs a buff. If you were forced, if it was basically, listen, you have to give one of these cursed objects a buff in some way, the voodoo doll. Yeah. The summoning circle, I don't think needs buffed. I just think that it needs worked with. What font do I use? Typically what I use is, oh gosh, let me pull up. Typically it is the Opti Balloon Extra Bold. Yeah, it just looks good on screen, but yeah, it's not working right now, so that's okay. Nine Tails, thank you for the 3 months. Summoning circle feels like it does need some tinkering with. The problem I have with the summoning circle is that I feel like every time I go to use it, it doesn't work the way it should. Or no, I don't know if it doesn't work the way it should, or if it's just that it's really awful timing where I go to light that final candle and then the ghost starts hunting right before then. Even if I light them so super fast, it doesn't matter. It starts to hunt before I light the last candle. So when I light that candle, it spawns in the circle. Hate it. I just want the tower. The tower cards working the way they used to would be great. Yep. Getting the other cards more than just the tower card and the hermit card would be awesome. When I use it, the ghost starts hunting way too early. Yeah, it sucks. I get hit by that a lot, which is why I don't use it that much. To be real. Fallen, thank you for the biddies. Started taking sanity midway through lighting the circles. Oh yeah, that's what I did too. I would bring sanity to the circle. I would light two and then take sanity and then finish lighting them. Yeah. When am I going to start playing? Whenever we're done talking and I start playing. Yeah. Hey Nico, how are you? Welcome in. Adding a new tarot card or two would be really cool, just to spice things up a bit, so that way it makes you want to pull the cards more. I think that'd be cool. Monkey Paw can be messed with a little bit because it can be a little buggy. They could just fix a few things on it. Yeah, sometimes when you go to make a wish, it drops a finger, but you don't get the wish. So then you have to wish again and it's a waste. That's just a bug or a feature, if you will. Yeah. Macy, thank you for the gifted to Ella. And Katie, thank you for the biddies. Hello. Replacing the tower, I feel. No, they just need to, it's not even fix it. You can't say fix it. They just need to make the tower card the way it used to be, where it caused an instant interaction. That made me use the tower. That made me use the tarot cards more. No bugs, only features. That's my bad. Sorry. My bad. Sorry. I hate when it gives you the finger. Touche. I don't know what they would add. I'd have to go through like the actual tarot cards and try to know which ones would be best to add. I don't know. I'm not a part of that tarot life. I don't know. Need a card that puts you in the ghost realm, but alive for a period of time. So start the round, hopefully get the card and walk around to find the room. You know, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Like almost like you are dead in the game where it puts you in like the afterlife, but you're in the house, but maybe it's like you get a second chance. So like it puts you in the afterlife and you have to go find something and you have like 60 seconds to find this thing. And if you find it, you come back to life. I don't know. That might be too much for them, but come on. Hate the music box. You suck at staying alive and when it hunts. Okay, well that sounds like a user error. Long time no see. Hello, friend. Demon dog? Oh no, they had demon dogs when they first created this game. Yeah. Way back before they actually publicly released it. Is Pro, thank you for the 22 months. Hello. Jinu, thank you for the follow. Question, are Morroys group average or one person? The only ghost that is basing its hunt off of one person is the Banshee. Every other ghost is average sanity per the group. Yeah. Hey, Rocket Pop, how are you? We'll get started here in a sec. It's good. Listen, I like this time of being able to hang out and chat before we get into it, because then it gives me a chance to hang out and talk. Can we start? No, now I have to stay here for an extra 5 to 10 minutes because you said that. Yeah, I'm sorry. It sucks to suck, but you know, a little patience goes a long way. Jake, thank you for the follow. Devin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Hi, Carrie. Kate, thank you for the 14 months. Chill time? Yeah, chill time. It's always good. Play the game, Unk. Go to timeout, child. I don't know what you want me to say. Said Unk. They must be like fucking 11 or 10 or something. They have to be. Phasmo, chill. Yeah. Some people are wild. No, they're impatient. Their weekend is all they have before they go back to school. So they're, you know, mom, turn on the Wi-Fi. Let's go. Callie, thank you for the subs. It's all good, man. Just can't let it ride. Can't let it ride. Why are you never active in general in your server? Why am I never active in general? What do you want me to say? Are you active in there? Wait, what's your name inside of the server? Here, I'll pull it up. Because I am active, I'm just not active all the time in the general friendo chat. Oh, no, that's okay. Don't worry about it. They're about to get a one-way ticket. It's all good. Did they say their name? Oh, he wants to know specifically why you aren't giving him your time. Yeah, it's a fair question. It's really hard for me to answer that. I don't know. I'll do some self-reflection and figure it out. Yeah. Hey, William, how are you? I'm a potato. Thank you for the 23 months. Finish the last stream rewatch. Oh, Quarantine Zone. Yeah, I got to go back to that at some point. At some point. How dare you not be? Listen. Life's tough, man. I'm active. Trust. They haven't spoke. They said one thing. I asked them a question. Oh, there we go. All right, let me look. All right, so let's see. You have sent 6 messages in the server, all of which were from the 17th and 18th, and that's it. So why aren't you active? Why do I prefer the tier 2 headgear? I like it for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is I don't want to be staring at green the whole time for the night vision stuff. The other reason, tier 2, it feels like it gives you more immersion. It feels like it gives you more of an immersion of feeling like you're a part of the hunt. I don't know. I like it. I really like the look of the tier 2, when the light is on. Yeah. King of Sass? No, just the King of Facts. Favorite map is Willow, for sure. Hey, Sinu, how are you? Should have been there to see those 6. I mean, they look great. Yeah. Hey, far enough. How are you? Still a noob trying to get over the chills when solo? Just got to throw yourself in the deep end. It's really the way to go. I mean, honestly, I started playing with friends, right? And then I just decided like, well, I'm going to give it a shot. And then I started doing solo games. Shit, I think my first solo game I posted like way back when. At some point you just pull the trigger. You really just go for it. Never done the big maps. The problem with the big maps is if you're solo, it just takes a really long time. Yeah. Public matches are hilarious. They definitely can be. I would like to do another day of public matches. That would be pretty great. One of these days, Alice, here soon, we'll do it for sure. Tanglewood not coming out. Wait, not coming out, not till March. Says where? Where's the fact check? Hey, Sanity. Timeless. Hello, how are you? Is there a specific date? Not that I'm aware of. No. Did you figure out what was going on? Frosty, everything was just going shot. Really, the graphics card was starting to degrade and die, is what was happening. But a lot of other things were also happening at the same time. So just inevitably, it was going to kick the bucket. Yeah. It's just the way, man. I'm the fact check? No, I'm not. Nay, absolutely not. You looked it up. And where'd you find that, Albert? Yeah, I looked it up. It's great, but where did you find it? The snowball effect? Okay, don't say that. It's supposed to snow like 4 inches today. You don't want a Tanglewood rework? I know. Some people don't. I do. I want them to be able to make the map their own. Yep. It's a puzzle piece. Website. Okay, we're getting there. We're going to land this plane, and it's going to be great. Everyone's going to depart and go with their separate ways. What website? TrustMeBrah.com. What tips could you provide for someone trying to do the Apocalypse Challenge? I don't feel like I'm the person that can give you that info. Nuka Dave, Nukadave, that is the man when it comes to Apocalypse. Google. Okay, so Google inevitably leads you to another website where there are sources that give you information. If you are going off, is it that, or was it the little AI message that's at the top of Google? I'm telling you, we're so close. We are so close. Like the tables have been like, you've been told to put them up. Make sure your seatbelt's buckled. Wheels are down. We're about to land. It's going to get there. The internet isn't for everyone. Hey, Southern Karma, how are you? I do promise we will start soon. I swear to you. I swears it up and down, friends. I'm entertained at this moment. Is Twitch Drops available? No, they haven't been available for months. No. Nervous but excited. I'm excited. I'm excited until proven otherwise. If I play the map and I'm like, wow, this actually sucks, I'm going to go directly to them and tell them it sucks. I think most of us will. And it's good to be vocal about it. Make sure you let them know what you like, what you don't like. Did we ever get a website? Do we know? I'm just curious because I would love to look this up so that way I can verify the information and then I can tell you guys about the map if we have information. Google must be Italian. Haven't seen the website at all. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to put the link, just like the name of the website. We got to Google and then stopped. Okay. What map is best for a new starter of Phas? Definitely the small maps. So as of right now, Tangle, Willow, Edgefield, Ridgeview, those are all really great starter maps, in my opinion. The plane's crashing. It's diverting for sure. We're having to do laps. We're circling. We don't have clearance to land. Not yet. Not yet. We're getting there. Maybe. I don't know. Hey, Nocturne, how are you? Hey, Luke, what's going on? All right, I'm just going to assume we're not going to get one. We'll just go with that. So as far as I know, friends, allow me to give you the information that I have currently. There has been zero announcements as to when the new when the new Tanglewood rework is coming. Okay. There has been zero announcements by the team, by Kinetic, by anybody. So as of right now, where it stands, all we know is that the map is coming. Do we know if it's coming in February, March, or April? Nope. No clue. There's been zero announcements. Just saying when Tanglewood comes out. Okay. So again, let's go back. Okay. Shit. This is hard. This is tough. This is hard. I tried to help. I tried to assist. Let's just restart. Yeah, that's probably the best move. Hey Darius, how are you? Will it be in Q1? From my understanding, if I remember correctly, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, they said early 2026 Q1, I believe is what they said. I believe. Chewbacca, hello. Can't teach critical. Well, it's really important. It's extremely important for people to understand how to check sources and understand what facts are and understanding the truth. Because if you just go off of a single website that pulled a Google AI review and you go, well, it says that. Okay, but what sources did they use? And then you go look for the sources. You don't just take the little AI overview and say, well, that must be the damn truth. Learn it's important how important checking sources is? Yes. Thank you, Poison Ivy. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. I wish they'd give you all the access. Me too. Me too. I really do too. It'd be nice. Pixie, thank you for the 7 months. People taking TikToks at face value. Right. It's good to check your sources. You don't have to trust me with everything that's said. If you don't trust me, please check the source. If I tell you I know for certain 100% this is true, and you're like, well, I don't believe it, then go prove me wrong. And then come back and say, hey, actually, I went and checked and it's this. And I'm the first one to be like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Plain Sanity. No, thanks. Yeah. Mikey, hello. Poison Ivy. Wish YouTube could add the play sound feature. Oh, like blurp and stuff? Yeah, I know. Cross-platform stuff is tough. I'm working on right now trying to get a cross-platform voting system up so that way everybody is able to vote. So I'm working on that currently. Yeah. Poison Ivy, thank you, friend. Mikey, hello. A lot, hello. All right. Well, I have a feeling, unless someone can correct me if I'm wrong where it comes to the information we got, there's been no announcement of any kind anywhere when it's coming. Okay? Is that correct? There's been no leaked informations? Is that right? Okay. They sent me, okay. So they sent me an image that says they did a Bing search. When is Tanglewood rework coming out? 2026. The Tanglewood rework for Phasmophobia is expected to be released in early 2026. You know what? I'm gonna go deeper. Hold on, please. Bing still exists? Yeah. I sent you the image. I'm very well aware because I just read it out loud. Yeah. Savage, thank you for the 15 months. Let's see. Let's see. So their source is GameWatcher.com. Let me do a quick little, try to save myself some time. Okay, so 0 places inside of this article does it say March. Lou, thank you for the subs, friend. Listen, I'm doing the deep dives here so you guys don't have to, okay? So just to be clear, you said that it was coming out in March, and then you sourced GameWatcher.com where they said it's coming early 2026, and they never say March. So can we just safely say that you assumed March because they said early 2026? I didn't. The other guy did. I sent the image. Okay. Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay, hold on. So I need to know where on this screen that this person is claiming that it is coming out in March. Maybe I'm missing something. What do we consider early 2026? Quarter one, I would say, is early, in my opinion. But early could be, I mean, quarter one early could be January, but obviously that's already passed. So, right, it says early 2026, right. So where does it say March? I don't know. Ask the guy that said it was coming out in March. Who said it was coming out in March? This is rage bait at this point, I think. I think they're getting me good. I think I'm being got. Ask the guy. Who? You know, the guy, the website. What website? You know, the one I showed you. What? A guy in chat. Okay, but where? This doesn't... So now, okay, so you sent me this as proof of when it was coming out. If I can call them out, do it, Mayor. These are separate people. Okay, okay. I have, you know, the guy. I think I was getting confused and thinking that it was the same person. Making you confused. It was making me confused. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Because I guess I was trying to understand why I'm being sent this. Because this doesn't prove anything. Need more coffee? It's next to me. I got it. Supernatural. Take it for the 11 months. Oh my God. No, shut up, Adam. Thank you for the super chat. You're not understanding. You got to ask the guy. You got to ask the guy. Okay. Can somebody point out to me where it was said? God damn it. I beat APOC 3 blindfolded. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. Okay, Albert was the one that claimed it. Okay, got it. Okay, we're getting this is unsolved mysteries. Here we come. Okay, let me pull this up. Dude, now I'm so invested. Okay. So their messages were, and let me repeat, okay? This was not his doing. This was not his doing. He was sending me that image, which I'm not exactly, unless he was just trying to say, if you do a search on Bing, this is what it shows. Then okay, then understood. Roger that, right? But the person that claimed that it was coming out in March said, I looked it up, website, Google, just saying when Tanglewood comes out. It is true, and that's it. So yeah, please check your sources. Please just check your sources. Ask the website. God damn it. Maxwell, I swear to God. All right, did we have fun? Was that enjoyable? Was that enjoyable? Did we have a good time? Ay, caramba. Biz, I apologize. I totally thought that it was you guys, that you were the one that said that earlier. That's my bad. I'm sorry. Sorry. I was throwing shade at you for 0 reasons. I'm sorry, Biz. Hey, ask the data collecting thing. Yeah. Trying to solve a mystery that can't be solved, Drifter. Oh my God. Well, no, I don't want them to get mad at me because like I was coming at him because I was thinking that they were the other person. That was totally my bad. Mission Impossible? No, it just, there's no announcement anywhere, guys. Okay, are we good? We're good. We can go on so I can go into this map and die real fast. All right, we're good. All right, let's do the thing. This is why you leave it. Yeah, but if I can show it on screen, then it's nice because then it can show everybody like, oh, okay, there's somebody spreading rumors about the game that's not true. I gotta try, Mayor. Wait, so Google can't be my primary care doctor? That's weird. So let's look at the APOC 2 settings. That is where we left off last time. All right, ready, break. Withering Wish, thank you for the biddies, Fred. Ah, caramba. So we have a starting sanity of 50, which can be good. I don't think I'm going to take sanity when we go in. I mean, well, maybe I should. Sanity pill restoration is 5, and if I take like 2 of them and I go into the map and it starts hunting, then we know we have an early hunter. That could actually be a good thing. Okay. Sprinting is off. Player speed 75. Not the best in the world, but that's fine. Ghosty is 150. High roam, high favorite, room change. Activity is low. Event is low. Grace period's 2 seconds. We get 1 piece of evidence. We get 1. And I thought I was rage baiting my teenager this morning. Listen, dude. Check your sources. Check your sources. Don't even say that like, oh, well, I asked Flash or I asked another content creator. Yes, like you could start with that, but don't use that as like the end all be all. Lou, thank you for the gifted saint, by the way. Thank you so much. I usually will speak like when I say that I am 100% sure, I usually only do that if I really am. But if you hear me go like, I think it might be, not sure, it's because I'm not 100%. That girl, hello. But Tater told Flash, told InSim, the map. Don't you dare bring their names into this. All right, fingerprint chance is 100%, 60 seconds on those, which is nice. Heavy rain, yuck, gross, disgusting. No hiding, which, you know, it's Tanglewood, so we do have the nursery, the table inside of the nursery. Fuse box is broken and no cursed possessions. Should make for a fun day. Doesn't Phas ever get boring? If it got boring, I wouldn't play it. Yeah. But if I ever want to play other games, that's why I play the other games. It keeps Phasmo nice and spicy because we're throwing other things in the mix. The potato groans. Oh my God. Ay, caramba. It'll be Friday when you're out of town. No, I don't know. I hope that it's not a time that I'm busy. Hey, Nikki, welcome in. Hey, Bruce, good to see you. How do I identify a djinn? I watched videos but didn't understand. If you can get evidence, you identify it that way. But if you're talking about with 0 evidence, one of the best ways is by having the power on, listening to make sure that the ghost is average 1.7 meters per second, meaning just average like the average speed when it's 100. And then get line of sight over 3 meters away and it sprints at you. Yeah. All right. On to APOC 2. This is going to end so fast and so abruptly after all that.
Check the equipment and get sent up before investigating.
I use Internet Explorer. You guys heard about this new virus? It's called COVID. Oh my God. Thank you, Mayor. Love Tanglewood. I really want to buy Willow in real life. That'd be cool to see those maps like IRL if they ever decided to do something crazy. Boom, demon ability right in the entryway. All right. I also don't know why this isn't working. It's not the end of the world because I can just pause it like this, which is fine. All right. Onward. We have Stacy Lancaster, which means it can be any of the ghosts. Average 25, repel, 3 videos. That's not that bad. I mean, perfect game, we've got to get all that anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. I am definitely going to take 2 of these because this will bring me to 60 sanity. Roxy, ew. Love the vids. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. No, this is not 0 evidence. This is APOC 2 settings, which gives you 1. I get 1. Roxy, thank you for the 46 months. What up, homie? All right. Well, flashlights work for now. They will not work on the next game if I make it to the next game. But I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to take a few things to the door just to be safe. I think that'd be the smart thing here. Dying Light did a special edition that cost like, what? Is there evidence on APOC 2? Yeah, there's 1. There certainly is. Put that there, put that there. Yeah, this is the time to do it. Is the Phasmo movie still coming out? Yeah. When? No idea. We haven't heard anything about it in a while. They might request a screenshot of the evidence. Yeah. All right, we do get 1 evidence, so we might as well bring all the stuff to the door. That's going to be the best way. Did you say please be a Goryo? How dare you? Too scared to try Nightmare? You'll get there. All in due time, friend. All in due time. It's always a good idea to check this front window. You never know. Might get orbicals. Is the Urate open and closing the door? Is the Urate open and close fully the door? Yes, the Urate cannot partially touch a door and leave it partially. It can't touch a door and leave it partially open. When a Urate touches a door, outside of a hunt, it needs to be fully open or fully shut. That is correct. All right, more stuff. No point in taking the risk. I'm going to have to get a bunch of media stuff anyway. If they don't reference the bendy backs on the characters, I'll cry. I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder if they're actually going to bring something to the new characters that is like an homage. You know, why not? Like, I know there was like a t-shirt at some point that had the bendy backs on it. That'd be cool if when they add cosmetics, like they did something like that. So I have a Urate. I'm in Tanglewood. The closet door is fully open. Yeah, but that doesn't guarantee that it's a Urate. You are better off crossing off that it's not one than it is one. Because if a ghost touches a door and it partially touches it, then you can say not a Urate. But just because the ghost fully opens or fully closes the door doesn't mean that it is one. Do you know what I mean? All right. Do that, do that, do that. Oh. Ooh, Ghosty just blew out that firelight. Wait, hold on. Oh, I don't have a camera. You know what? That's actually, I wonder if the Ghosty's close. What is the Phasmo movie going to be called? I mean, I don't know if they're going to name it something different or if they're actually going to just name it Phasmophobia. I would assume Phasmophobia. Kind of wanted to put F them. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's a highly unlikely scenario, friend. Aaron, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the prime. Welcome in. Cat, hello. When did they announce the Phas movie? It's been a while now. It was some time ago. I don't remember exactly when. Ooh, that. Okay, so Ghosty might just be close. Can I get that sound from here? Listen, if I can get audio from right here, I don't know if I can with the firelight, but I might be able to. I can also take a picture of the EMF when it goes off from here. It just saves me time. Well, it's getting media without losing any of my sanity. Error, hello. It's going to be a bad movie? Why? You can get a sound from there? Oh, look, there's a sound in front of me. It just threw something. What it just threw out. What is connecting and disconnecting? Anyone recognize that sound? Your sanity? Okay. I didn't break nothing. It's not my fault. I swears. Listen, it's a new computer, so there's stuff that's not been done. My soul. USB something, right, but what? God damn it. Yeah, I saw that the picture frame fell down, yeah. Oh my God. All right, hold on. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. It's torture. Mouse maybe? No, I still have my mouse. No. I think what I'm gonna do for now, because I don't see anything happening, is we're just gonna pretend nothing ever happened. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to sounds. Okay. Any loose? No, there shouldn't be, but I'll have to double check after stream. Just to make sure. Yeah, because it's being a dingus. Now my computer's crashing out. Yeah, it was busy searching to figure out where that source came from earlier, and it's struggling. It can't find it. Listen, man. Okay, Ghost, I saw that. It just picked up the book. Now, I don't know if that counts, though, because I haven't placed it. I haven't placed it down yet. Hey, what up, Hendrix? Thank you, friend. All right, sounds. Go. Hopefully this will solve it for now, in the sense that whatever it's connecting and disconnecting is getting rid of the is making sound happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, all right, back to where we were. I need to do this, because now what I can do is I can get video of this. Did they ever announce starting filming? I don't know. Did they? Yeah, it picked up the book, but I never placed the book. So I don't know if it counts if you never actually placed it. Quick, grab an egg from the kitchen. We know Ghosty's close, though. Yeah. Oh, it's effing the shoes. Red Lion, thank you for the 4 months. All right, blow this out. Shamo. Do disturb salt photos not count anymore? No. Nope. It needs to be a video now. I would assume that placing is also required. I never really thought about it, just having the book get thrown and then saying you're not going to get writing. But I would assume you also have to place it too. Yeah. Hi, Azir. How are you? Feel like doing these, you always get the hallway ghost? Yeah, the kitchen would be nice. Right? Kitchen would be nice, but it is what it is. All right, let's, now that I got the media that I can get as of now. Oh, no! Oh, I almost got another sound. Oh, maybe it's actually worth it to stay here. If Ghosty's gonna keep coming over here, I might be able to get a lot of the stuff from there. Love a kitchen ghost, it's nice. Yeah. Thank you. Miss Hightard, thank you for the biddies. I think it's Raiju when the lights are flashing. Does it? No. No. The Raiju being able to go faster with electronics has nothing to do with the house. Yeah. No enter challenge. Yeah, basically. All right. I brought the camera with me. What a dingus. Didn't Blumhouse do the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Yeah. There are no dang hot dogs here, Apocrypha. Listen, we've had no warm-up game. We're just going in fresh. We dealt with a lot of stuff before this started today. Okay. Alyssa, thank you for the 9 months, friend. Oh no, guys, my AI source said the movie comes out in an hour. Oh, caramba. Can you get a video of the motion sensor from the door? I should be able to. Yep, I would just have to walk in and place it. Hey, Wesker, how are you? I do wonder if... You got me thinking. Why tier 2 salt? I don't want to slow the ghost down. So that's why I don't use tier 3. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ads are going to happen in a minute anyway. So we can let those happen and then go into the house. I'm going to bring double the salt, double the fun. Bring one of these. There's no specific days, lolcat. Usually if I hit my goal on the Twitch side for the month, then I have it the first week of the following month. Usually. All right. We're going to get that. And we're going to try to do that too, because the ghostie's definitely close by. Right? Thank you, Fresh. Definitely close. Hey-ya! It'd be nice to see... Oh, look what it did to the book. It'd be nice to see it mess with something again over here so that I know that it's right here. Can I explain why the people use tier 2 incense? Yeah, the reason why I like tier 2 over tier 3 is I don't want to stop the ghost in its tracks. I want the ghost to get away from me. Ooh, ads are about to start. All right. I'm going to wait for the ads to happen. There's a lot of delay between starting and this. Once they are done, we will go inside. Okay. So we are going to wait for them to finish. Once they finish, then we will go in. What's up, Logan? How are you? I tell you what, we'll even do this for now so that way you guys don't have to deal with this. There we go. There we go. Waiting for him to begin. More time to chat. Watch me, you already shut that door. I will not be upset. In the slightest. Appreciate it. Of course. Yeah, if you guys aren't subbed, if you don't have turbo, you're going to get hit. It happens every hour. So I try my best to stop it when it happens. I'm just waiting for them to actually start. Gotta ask the guy. Oh, yeah, that's right. There we go. There we go. Glad on the other side. Yeah, I can't control him over there, though. PSU, think of the 23 months. So is the ghost room the hallway? There's a very high chance of it with how much the ghost has been here, but it also might change rooms by the time we get in the door. Yeah. Does your sanity drain when you're standing outside? Not at all. Nope. Not a single bit. I could stand outside this entire time and my sanity wouldn't drop. Yeah. I'm back. I took a break. I hope your break was good. Yep. So I could stay here the entire time and we'd be okay. But I should be at like, I haven't walked in the door yet. So I should be at like 60 sanity. By the time we walk in, if the ghost hunts, we have an early hunter, which is information and nice. My AI said a new upcoming Chronicle update's coming in June 2025. Yeah, it starts with 50, but I took 2 sanity, so and they're 5 replenished, so I should be at 60. Yeah. Unless you're cursed by the Moroi. Well, no, I'm not cursed because I haven't gotten a parabolic. The ghost hasn't talked to me yet, and I haven't gotten spirit box, so I can't be cursed. Yeah. Oh no, I'm on the wrong side. No, no. Can't trust random words on the website and on the internets. Yeah. Basically, the Moroi drain. Yeah, and the Moroi drain is not going to happen outside too, correct? You have to be in the map for it to be happening. But if you're cursed by the Moroi, it doesn't matter if you're standing in light or not. You're still going to be getting hit anyway. Do I have a favorite drink? Oh, I don't know. Redhead. Thank you so much. Mel, hello. Divine, thank you. Jose, hello. Like the music? Just chill, man. Got 50 seconds. After the 50 seconds are up, I'll stop the music and we'll go inside. That's the other nice thing about solo. Rance, you shut up right now. Hey, Mel, how are you? I'm good. Baja Blast. That's right. Hey, Baja Blast is good shit. Thank you, Redhead. Why don't they make those? Oh, the ghost is still here. I just saw a shoe move. It has not moved away from this spot. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get myself at the ready here. Let's turn this back up. Turn that back up and pause this. You a big soda enjoyer? Yeah, usually if they're not made by Lester's Fixins. Yeah, typically. All right, so ads are done. We're back. Ghosty is still here. It is still here. Okay. Ghosty is still chilling. Cozy Nightmare? Oh, no. This is a nice, cozy APOC 2. Yeah. Nice and cozy. That sound is coming from my left, which is very interesting. I think I want to get inside. I'm gonna keep a smudge on me at all times. I think that's the play. And then was that the stuffed animal? So is playing inside of the nursery too? I think it's in the nursery. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's right there. There's no need for the menacing music. That's completely unnecessary. Well, I saw my breath in here. There we go. Okay, what do I want to do? There's no nowhere. Let's salt. There goes my sanity I was trying to preserve. You bitch. Gosh dang it. I see my breath out here now. But I just heard it there. Walk. Oh, very interesting. That's disgusting. Oh, it turned its head backwards. That's great. Wait a minute. Oh, information. It's not walking in the salt. You what the hell? Oh, no. But it set that off and it didn't. What? Imagine I see orbs. Oh my god. That'd be crazy. I got excited too. Why is it not leaving that room? Say that it isn't always proof that it's not an Oni. No, that's wrong. If you get the mist ball, it can't be an Oni. Literally cannot. Oh, you hooker. This is very interesting information. Okay. It ate the cross. Are you sure? Wait, do I already have a door? I'm losing it. Oh, shit. I'm already done with my videos? This doesn't make any sense. I still need to get below 25. Well, I've already got the video, so that doesn't matter, but... No UV? Wraith? No. still see the breath in there. I'm at the ready. No freezing? No, I can get one evidence technically. Where are you? Are you here? There we go. I'm at the ready just in case. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Goodness gracious. That's hard facts. I'm gonna go look for the bone. So she was so fast that now the breath is in there. What the breath was so fast. I didn't look in the bathroom, did I? The breath, god dang it. She was so fast that she ran into the room and ran directly to me. I think it was unintentional. I don't think she meant to do that. No, it's not a Dio. No shot, it's a Dio. Just to be sure. I don't have a lot of time. If it's a demon, it's gonna be spicy. No, it's 150, don't forget. There it is. Got it. Was that more really fast? I don't know. But I would love... Yeah, I think it's moved rooms. I'm smudging again. That should have worked. If that didn't work, I just got robbed. It just disappeared. Yeah, that should have worked. Oh, my Lanta. I need another photo. What is the phantom evidence? Spirit box, ultraviolet dots. Okay. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Where are you? Probably dots? You think? Alright. I assume it's dots. Spirit box takes sanity? No. Right, I've got 2 smudges on me. Yeah, okay. Crucifix, I'm actually going to place you right there. I'm going to place this over here. And then you off for now. Yikes. Okay. I have 1 sound. Crap. Fire extinguish. I could get the sound of the crucifix burn. before here. It might be worth it. Hey, Kit Kat. The funny phantom. It's an interesting one. Because. Oh, this sound is so long. Totally a mimic? Don't say that. I'm gonna go in here and see orbs. Okay, good deal. I like it. I like. Okay. I need one more photo, right? Is that it? I need to repel while it's chasing. I need to let it hunt. Finished Helmart? I did. Okay. What do you think the new event's gonna be? Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is dangerous as shit. It's here with me right now. Find myself time. I know, I've got one more smudge. Okay. I need to repel while it's chasing. I think I have one smudge left. I'm gonna have to take the risk, I think, and stay over there in that spot. I think I'm gonna have to take the risk. Because if I try to do it anywhere else and smudge, there's nowhere to hide. You don't need the smudge. Repel the ghost with incense while it's chasing someone. What? Curious as to how I don't need the smudge to do that. That's unfortunate. Move the cruci over. It has no more bites. I'm just gonna have to be hopeful. If that EMF goes off, that means it's here. Maroon, it's tough. Are phantoms the other stalking ghost? The other stalking ghost? Well, banshees and phantoms can both stalk. When a phantom stalks you like it just did, oh God. No evidence? It's one evidence, but I never got evidence. We figured it out without it. It's here. Oh, okay. I've got to try. You know how dicey that is? Do you know how dicey that is? It's a perfect game. Moving on to the next one. Where'd she come from? Yeah, she's a phantom. So the second she comes in and you can't see her coming in the door. Yeah, I got the bone. Yep, I got it. Phantom is marked. Woo! Hi, caramba. Hi, caramba. All right, on to APOC 3. Oh, man. Listen, I could have done it better. Way better strategy to get all the stuff and the things, but we did it. Perfect. That means we now go to APOC 3. We all know what APOC 3 is like. It's basically just the hardest settings that you can make in the game. That's, long story short, what it is. What is the grace period on APOC 3? Let me show you. So make sure it's marked there. So, you know, obviously no sanity, no replenish, none of that jazz. My speed is slow AF. I don't get flashlights. The grace period is 0 seconds. Yeah. 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 Should be fun. All right, let's go. We don't get much APOC 3. I know, because it's your speed is 50. It sucks. It's so slow. It's so slow. Here, I'll turn the music down a little bit, but we'll keep it there because it's going to take me a minute to get everything to the door. So we'll slowly start making our way there. Yeah. Oh wait, that's useless. Wait, no. Oh wait, there we go. I could have night vision and stuff. No lights, no lights, no flashlights. So it is what it is, man. The only reason I don't like APOC 3 is because you're slow. What a lot of people will do if they really enjoy making it difficult is they will turn it from a 15 time to a 14 by allowing you to go 100% speed. 0 sanity, correct. Yep. Do you get all the trophies if you play APOC 3 directly? Yep. So bronze, silver, and gold, yeah. Nolan, welcome in. Hello, how are you? Hi, Grandma. Bring that in there. That's good to check for possible phantoms if it stalks us like that one did. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. Hey, Trey, thank you for the daily army. We'll be fine. Put that guy there. Put that there. Put that there. Not very flashy. I know. I'm trying my best, man. Going a little fast. I'll slow down. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Hope I see orbs. Oh, that'd be crazy. Oh, that'd be so nice. Getting orbicals right away. Oh my God. You know what? Go back on the wall. There we go. Spare pants. Nah, we just let it ride. Let it ride. What is the quickest game I've had? Zero evidence woodwind. Saw the orbs in the monitor and left. Yeah. Phantom or Wraith teleporting on you? The Phantom doesn't teleport. Not put the smudges next to the lanterns? Roger that. All right, nope. Oh my God, it was the rain. No Orbeez in there. Hey, Fode, how are you? Nothing immediately. Nothing quite there. Yep. Slow down, sorry. That's what it is. See, we're going so fast that it seems slow. That makes a lot more sense in my opinion. Oh, that's true, Kevy. You're right. Touche. I'll do that before I go in. Okay, they still are not showing up for me. Thank you for the dono. Whoever that was, I'll have to like find a way to get that. They're supposed to show my activity feed and they don't. And I've asked about it. So hopefully they're going to fix it. Don't understand the game? Oh, it's just all practice, man. The more you play, the better you'll get. Well, whoever the hell that was, thank you, friend. You can, Savage, yes. Yeah, you can get the camera through the garage door. Aw, Kit Kat. Thank you. Found a mimic in the garage with, oh my God. Again, that'd be nice. We haven't heard anything from the ghosty yet. Nothing. All right, for these guys, we're gonna put them close, danger close, so that way they don't, you know, get lit on fire. About to hit 100. Is it worth it to prestige? If you want to challenge yourself, 100%. Absolutely worth it. The door is open. I don't see any sort of... I feel like this is way easier. I feel like it's always harder to do this. I don't see any movement in the garage. No items being thrown. Doors touched. The front door is open, so the ghost can be active right now. So we'll see. Mother Ducker, thank you for the prime. Don't see the van. Don't worry about the van. We stole that ages ago. All right, back to the truck for more. Friendly reminder, this is APOC 3. Why putting stuff by the door? Because it's APOC 3. The amount of time it's going to take me to go back and forth to the truck when I find the ghost, I'm trying to minimize that amount of time. All right, got those. I'm going to grab that. Van was stripped for its parts. It could absolutely be in the basement. It could be basement. It could be in the kitchen, living room. I haven't seen anything. Master bedroom. I don't know. Striker, thank you for the follow. Chris, welcome in. Any sounds? What we'll do is we'll get everything to the door. Then once we do that, then we'll start checking. Then we'll start checking for sounds and stuff. But yeah, if it's in the basement, that's a good and a bad thing. Good thing is I can get into the door and not worry about the ghost. Bad thing is, for me to get near the ghost, I have to go all the way to the basement. That sucks. Gaga! Thank you for the 17 months. What up, dude? Gaga, I'm scared. Gaga, scared. Doing APOC 3, Gaga, scared. Basement shit. Don't you dare, Shane. Don't you say that. Gaga, how are the things, friend? How's your weekend? Why is that scared? I'm afraid the ghost is going to try to, you know, get my parts. It's going to do it. Hey, Thay. So we skirt. Log in, see Flash moving way too fast. APOC 3. Played Forewarned yesterday. Oh, that game is so good. That game is a gem of a game. And honestly, I don't think I play it enough. I really, really don't. Gaga, we'll have to find a day and play that together. That'd be awesome. I feel like I remember nothing about the game, but man, it's still so fun. It's scary. What kind of ghost is it when it randomly takes your stuff? I don't know. It sounds like a brother or a sister. Definitely should. Hell yeah. That'd be so fun. Over there. Okay. I've got a photo camera. I'll put you over there. Okay. Are all my smudgies there? They are. Let's grab this. I'm going to pause the music for now. Emery, Forewarned mentioned. Roger that. This would be helpful because even if there are sounds in the garage or in the bedroom or whatever, they'll still show up here if I'm close enough to them. But I have a feeling that this ghost is way further into the house. Because we have zero things happening here by the front. Hey, Ari Dot, we're at APOC 3. So I'm about to just go running in here and trying my best. I've got, I'll make sure I'm in the right here. No. We want crucifix, smudge. Yeah. Parabolic, I've got one. It's right here by the front door. But I want to go in with 2 smudges because if the ghost is not that far away, then it charges me. Uh-oh, Scoob. So, or what I could do is run in with a firelight. You know what I mean? Anonymous, thank you for the oh hey, how are you mug giveaway. Oh, if you guys type exclamation point enter, you are entered to win. Wouldn't you be able to see where it is though? You think I'm gonna be able to see a 150 ghost around the corner? Are you a crazy? We'll try to see it. Yeah. But I'm gonna go in like this. I think I'm gonna go in the dark and not even like worry about the firelights. That way I have the double smudge on me. I think that's the plan. Unknown Spy, welcome in. Oh, to see where it is with the parabolic. Yes, I could. But if I hear that it's far away, then I'll come back to the door and get more stuff. The first thing I want to do is check and see where the hell it is. Why don't I loop? Why don't I loop a 150 ghost while I'm 50% speed? It's a great question. I am playing solo, yeah. I ask myself that every day. No, it's 150. 150 is the highest. Technically, Blood Moon 150 is the highest. But yeah. You mean in general? Like when I usually do loop the ghost? A little confused. Why don't we loop a Moroi on Blood Moon 8.3, right? GG's on the merch, friend. All right, we're going in. Are you slower than the Dio? No. So if it's a Dio, it's going to be dangerous because I need to be able to smudge and get away from it to get to where I can loop. But if I can do that, I can outpace a Dio. Yeah. You can outrun a Dio. It's just you can't get stuck. If you get stuck on something, it can catch up. All right, we go. I hear a door touch. If it's close to here, that's a troll. It spawns nursery, right? What level am I? Oh, I don't know. Throwing firelights, no risk of fire. Nah. No, it's a fire retardant rug. It's got so much crap caked on it, it's impossible to get through. I'm a fire hazard. Hey. I have a lighter. Yeah, that's how I lit that. Hi, Dorito. I kind of want to wait it out because if it's nearby being stinky, if correct, if I were to run this challenge again, if I get got right now, I start over. Did they update the lighting? Nope. It's in the basement. Well, crap. Was that the ghost? It is now. Okay. More stuff time. Yeah, lightning, this is APOC 3. Yeah. Whoa, game, relax. So now we'll take these, light the way a little bit. Not a Dio, no. No Dio. Yes, I'm going as fast as I can. Just as a heads up. Hey, Luke. Thank you for the heartbeat, dude. Oh. Oh no, they're coming. It's hard to tell. Is that an average 150? That's really tough to hear. Not hearing her for too long. No, she keeps going back downstairs. There. Put you over there. There we go. Hope they kind of keep the nursery in the same area. I can't speak for it because we haven't seen it. I have a strong inkling that they're going to be keeping the layout really similar. Slow down. Just because your name is the Flash doesn't mean you need to be so speedy. Have they announced when it's... No, not yet. No, but we've just been speculating just because they posted that teaser image on X and everywhere else. that it should be probably coming soon. Do I think I have a strong feeling this is going to go away. Yeah, I don't think that was ever intended to be a spot for someone to hang out. Oh Lord, they're coming. Access to the backyard would be pretty sweet. That would be cool. I have to agree. Does that sound normie? I think it does. Yeah. To be honest, this really sucks, but what I kind of want to do, I kind of want to wait for her to change rooms and get away from the basement. Unless she physically can't, then we know what it is, and that's going to suck. Sounds like a normal 150. Okay. But I feel like if it was a stalking ghost, it probably would have stalked us already by now, which it has not. When is the weekly? Whenever you want to play it. Bull needs rubber ducks. Agreed upon. You're new and just got a rev for the first time. Ooh, that's fun. Fee, thank you for the follow. Harrison, thank you. Compared to it does sound normal? Yeah. I assumed. Here what we'll have to do soon is we'll have to just put ourselves out there to get a look at the ghost. Could it be a phantom? It's not stalking us. It's throwing stuff, but it doesn't sound like it's throwing a lot. Not like Polty throws. That was weird. Is it a male or a female ghost? Dorothy Myers. It's a Dorothy. But it's not coming up here anywhere. If it's a stinky Goryo, there's nothing I can do except charge and try to get everything I need that way. That's what she thinks. Yeah, it's APOC 3 settings. So, yeah, no evidence. No evidence, no sanity, 50 speed. Ghost is 150. Marilyn! Hey, how are you? Sounds like a male. Dorothy? Listen, no judgment here. Kai, welcome in. So the Diane and the Banshee are still on the table? Yeah, for sure. But again, if it's a Banshee, it's in the basement, so it can stalk us. We have not been less stalked. Also, if it's a Wraith, it hasn't teleported. It's staying down there. So as of right now, I would say the chances of us having a Banshee, a Phantom, or a Wraith are lower for sure. Russell, I feel like you're playing the wrong game. There's no red-headed girl in this game. What? Is there a certain range you need to be in for the Diane to change speeds? 10 meters. Yeah. Not getting a lot of parabolic sounds. Yeah, there is the redhead you can play as. You guys got me. Probably read it from that same website. It's also important to take note of her pathing, where she's going every time. And it sounds like she's going the same place every time. Well, maybe. She just went to the garage. Hey, Cole. Phantom doesn't teleport to different floors, right? Well, no, the Phantom doesn't teleport. The Phantom stalks, but it can stalk you to any floor. It doesn't matter if you are at the basement of Point Hope. If it's all the way at the top, it can stalk you. Ghost gets tired. You'd think so, right? Like take a second to breathe, or is that what this says? I could also time the time in between hunts to see if it's a pot. Like it doesn't feel like a demon. Doesn't feel like it. Stinky Goryo is definitely on the table. The ghost hasn't left the basement. But it doesn't mean that it is one. Hasn't changed rooms. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Again, I'm not getting a lot of talking. Thank you for the rose. Should go say hi. You go say hi. No, I don't want to try for a yokai until I'm ready to come out and watch the ghost. Can you still see Goryo dots? No. No, because you can't get dots. Ooh, closer. Did it just stop? I'm a little late on that timer, but we'll see. Is there a specific timer that's no for when a ghost may change rooms, or is that all RNG? RNG. Yeah, the ghost could wait. I don't know. I don't know if there is a set timer necessarily that we're unaware of for the. It's not funny for the ghost to change rooms, but for the most part, when it decides to change rooms, it's doing it on the roam. If it's a Goryo, well, it's never checking on the roam to change rooms because it just doesn't change. Yeah. Fazilla, thank you for the giveaway. If you guys do exclamation point enter, you could win a pint glass. Oh my goodness. Tian, hello, how are you? Watch it be a weird a-hole. Correct, which is a Goryo. Which is our... We're really suspicious of a Goryo right now because it hasn't left the basement. Hasn't left. The other thing too is like getting all the media for this with the ghost being so far away. It's not good for me. I don't train for this. But if we think that the speed is normal and it's been this way the entire time, odds of it being a mimic are low. Not a Revy. I don't think it's throwing enough for a Pulte. I'll go get an electronic near the top of the stairs after this, just so we can say yes or no. Yes or no to the Raiju. T, enjoy the giveaway. Let's go. But yeah, we can get rid of all those. If it's a Jin, we're semi-screwed. Nothing I can do about that. Done. Okay. Yeah. We could absolutely do that. We could also say no to the Obambo because the Obambo would be slow or fast as well. Also the Galu. Well, no, because the speech, I mean, we haven't used any equipment on the Galu, so that's normal until we use something. Do I have any electronics over here I could throw over there? I could probably get the EMF a little bit closer. Try that. If it's a Stinky Wraith, this is beyond stinky. Because that means it hasn't teleported once. Thank you, Red. Thank you. Why am I slow? I don't work out very often. Okay, it's done. I really don't think it's a demon. I don't think so. Yeah. Is that the bone? No, it's a cup. Oh, biscuits. This challenge ages you, huh? Hi, Alan. Listen, dude. All Juju, thank you. If you got it at exclamation point, enter again. Oh, Ghosty's taking a rest too. Feels like a Goryo. I know. That's really, really unfortunate. Like extremely unfortunate. Mira, thank you. Oh, getting all the media is going to be rough, man. Like I'm gonna have to use one smudge just to go over there and try to find the bone. Unless it's over here, which I could do a quick little search. Perfect game so hard. Oh yeah, there's so much less that you can do. And not to mention with the ghost being so far away on a different floor, like there's nowhere for me to go. If I'm in the basement and the ghost starts hunting, deuces. How long you been? I mean, it's been a little while. It hasn't been too crazy. Not too crazy. RJ! GG's on the sticker. Oh, but we're trying our little heart out. So, again, I don't think so. Is there anything else we think it's not? Char, thank you for the gifted. I'd say the EMF is probably close enough to say that's not a Raiju. All right, so I'm thinking it's not a demon. I don't think it's a Raiju either. Why won't you just go out? Why won't I just go out to what? To loop the ghost? Hey, Catherine. Leona! Sir, do you have a normal ag ghost in Tangle Basement Epoch 3? Leona, listen. You are like one of the royalty when it comes to like running games like this, okay? Would you say that this is probably a worst case scenario? A ghost that's in the basement of Tanglewood Epoch 3 not leaving the basement? And you have to get a perfect game? Yes? Okay. See, I trust Leona. I trust. Especially if you're going for perfect game. Yeah. All right. Well, I think on this one, we're going to have to poke our head out so we can see the ghost. Gosh dang it. Oh, careful, SpongeBob. What is the point of staying in the room? So what is the point of me going out and getting got by the ghost if the ghost is 150 and I'm 50? That felt a little fast. Has it even hunt? Wait, oh, no, it hasn't evented. No, do you know why it hasn't evented? Night Raptor, hello. Because it's in the basement. It's too late. It's about to stop. Yeah, see, if I would have smudged there, that would have sucked. I would have wasted it. Show it your sick evasion skills. It's not fine. What do you mean? Yeah, that spot you can break line of sight with the ghost, which is a preferable spot. I could try to go for media, but I feel like we just need to get eyeballs on the ghost. So maybe we do that in the ghost room. I mean, we do that in here. No, it can get you in the room. The chances of it getting me are extremely low. Difficulty, Epoch 3. Hey, Fly Guy. We could only see her for such a short amount of time, but That really, really felt like it was normal. Could be wrong there. Was she very visible? I thought she was. You know what? Let's actually go. This is dangerous, but I'm going to the ghost room. Because it gets the, it gets it out of the way. I don't think Oni blinks. Yeah, I don't think so either, but it's so hard to say that. I don't have a lot of time. If it's a demon, I swear to God. All right, I see no boner jams. None. I only have 30 seconds left-ish. Not a lot of time. Any bones standing out? Run! I am! I'm going as fast as I can, damn it. Was it in the dining room? Okay. I'm inevitably going to go back that way anyway. But it can hunt me here. Unless we get a spirit. I do have a timer going. Was a bone on the carpet? That's what they were thinking too. Nope. Negative. Okay. Hey, Mayor, welcome over. Not a spirit. It hunted under 180 seconds. You can't pull over any further. I also don't think it's a yokai because I think it came over to me whenever we did the test too. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Now, ooh. I cleansed the ghost and it never changed speeds. It's not a gallon. I don't think so. Karina, welcome in as well, friend. Hello. It'll be a stinky. It sure feels like one right now. Yeah. All those are still on the table. I could eliminate but the issue is that I've got to go get the media. Being able to go get the media is going to really, really suck. Watch it be a shade. Unfortunately, it could be. Has it touched doors a lot? Well, I mean, it's in the basement. Going for perfect? I have to. I could always try my luck by hiding in a closet door. I am Nixie, yeah. I could always try to do one of these guys. It might be worth it, honestly, just to go for it. Not a mare, right? Because they would be fast with no power? No, the mare has nothing to do with the power. The only thing the mare really does that you have to worry about is the ghost has the ability to do the light bursting event more, and then it can also flip a switch off immediately after you switch it on. If you hear a ghost turn on a TV or turn on a computer, you can go ahead and say it's not a mare because there's a bug in the game where that was supposed to be fixed and it somehow reverted. So the mayor can't do that right now. Yeah, it's still in the basement, really feeling like it's Agoria. Hasn't changed from that room yet. Like, come on. The issue is, it doesn't mean that it is. That's what really sucks. Must be a djinn. I said it earlier. I was like, watch this be a stupid djinn. Nothing I can do about that. Ooh, I wasn't even paying attention. Did it blow out the firelight with me in the room with it? Yeah, that'd be a note of the shade. Thank you, Mikey. Wasn't even thinking about it. Smudge and put a crucie in the basement. It's gonna be the only hope. You're our only hope. Yeah, so that would take shade out of the equation. So That guy. This guy. I'm going to take those to the basement. All right, we're moving shop. Moving shop. Hey, Cyber. Start preparing ourselves in between hunts here. I mean, what I could do, I could save my smudge. Or not. I could save my smudge and then just run down there with a crucifix. I think it was normal blink still. Yeah. I think so. I need... There's all my medias. Okay. Always struggle to trust the judgment on the shade test because of the range on the interactions. That's really fair. But I'm pretty sure that she was literally standing in the room with us when she did it. She sounded stuck. It's because she's going so fast. When she tries to round a corner, she gets stuck. Literally gets stuck. I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to wait for the end of the hunt and just take a crucie and run downstairs. I think that might have to be the move. The way she peeks into the room for a second feels like mom checking if the kids are asleep. Hey, Xavier. Oh my God. Yeah, it was in the room. I think so too. I just slipped my mind. Oh, okay, that's normal. Run. Yeah, run. Get out of here, dude. Oh, God. I hate your face. All right, well, she bought us some time. Off we go. God dang, man. What an absolute a-hole. Give me one of these. Give me that. Give me, what do I have? This? Yeah, sure. I know you guys said that the camera was inside of that the bone was inside of the dining, so we'll go back. Fwank, I'm trying to run. I heard you. Do the thing. Have it. Nope, not enough time. All right, that covers that. I can't see the wall. Go, throw the smudge down there. I have 40 seconds. Yellen, enjoy the gift. Let's go. Thank you for the merch giveaways, friends. I appreciate you. All right, it's gonna hit that. I'm gonna try to get these things down there. This is dicey. Am I doing a crouch challenge? No, by crouching closer to the ground, I can see more. There's one sound. Please finish. Please finish. Please stop. Please stop. Thank you. There's a lot of praying that's about to happen right now. That's how fast you went with the brownie frownies. Just eat the crucifix. I can't see. Sounds are done. I can't get that, obviously. But I can do this. Okay. Ooh, this is dicey. You know what I'm going to do? I know it seems wasteful, but I'm going to go upstairs. Does that eliminate the shade? Yeah, we're pretty sure we eliminated it earlier. Because it blew out the firelight with us in the room earlier. Yeah. Give me this. Give me this. When is stream ending? Well, how the hell would I know that? Oh no, I couldn't. It was, oh no. No! You son of a bitch. I couldn't, it was so faded. Like the sound was so, oh gosh dang it. What a jerk. My sounds are done, right? Yeah. Wow. What an a-hole. What'd I do with the second crucie? Right there. All right. Make sure we cover the back part of that room. Like a dat. Very nice. She spawned on the stairs.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
I want to be very clear here. I want to be very clear, Dave. This was a djinn that did not change rooms. Or maybe it did. Maybe it did. No. This was a djinn that didn't change rooms for 40 minutes. A djinn doesn't change rooms for 40 minutes. And there's 0 things that can give away that it's a djinn. All right, well, ad started anyway, thank God. Well, gosh darn it. You know what? I tried my best. It kept us on our toes. That's what matters. Gosh dang it. That's so stupid. So dumb. Dave, it was going so well up until that point, man. It was so good. You know? Oh, nice sub count. GG's. Worst RNG. I know. And the APOC 2 run that I had, the ghost was there in the hallway. Like, it was right there in front of us. And then it moved to, like, the nursery and stuff. I was like, okay. Sounds good. Nope. This one, basement. Never left. Always lose the djinns. 12-hour stream? Not today. I have been thinking about it, though. About doing a 12 at some point. Yeah. Mr. Dave, I hope you're good, sir. There are no ways to figure out a djinn on APOC 3 except for crossing out every other ghost. Correct. Which you cross out by the ghost changing its favorite room. And then you say, ooh, okay, it's not a djinn. That is the only way to say it's not a djinn. Oh, okay. Wait, sorry, you know what I mean. There are 0 ways to cross out a djinn because it doesn't give you anything on APOC 3. It gives you nothing. So you have to cross out, like you said, every other ghost. You have to cross out every other ghost and say, nope, 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 nope. Oh, well, djinn's the only thing left. And the ghost did change its favorite room, so it can't be Goryo. Gosh dang it. It happens, man. You know, it was worth a try. With them releasing that with Phasmo releasing that, like, teaser image with no text, which obviously was a picture of the new Tanglewood, I felt like it's coming soon. So I thought, I got to give it a try. It was literally 50-50. Yeah, if I would either choose Goryo or djinn, I would have chosen 0 else. Yeah. Wraith, welcome in. What's up, Danny? Chap, hello. Random, Jennifer, hello, friends. Started playing 2 days ago. Nice. I can't wait to, man. I'm so excited for it. I know that there's a mixed bag of people that don't want to see it changed at all, but no, I'm excited for it. Advanced gameplay is wild. Well, when you do APOC 3 stuff, it's just slow go. It is 50 speed, and there's nothing you can do. Okay, they're done. Or they should be done. Welcome back, friends. I'm just mad we're losing the counter. I'm mad we're losing the count. Yep, for looping. You're mad that we're losing the kitchen island for looping. So what would you say if I told you that they're adding another looping spot? Talk to the game better? That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, so many people are obsessed with the kitchen looping. So what if they add another looping spot? think on Tangle there's going to be the... I kind of hope so. The doing it 50 times to get a badge. I hope they do. I have heard in the past, now I don't know if they have this marked down anywhere, if it's written in any of the teasers or if it's written in any of the developer previews, that they've stated that with all the new maps, they've wanted to do the 50 map thing. How do you play maps with no loops? Leona, usually whenever somebody says something about it, I ask, why do you want to loop? And then I'd say it's half and half. Half the time people are like, I don't know, because I see other people do it. But then the other half people are like, well, because that's the way that I check for the ghosts. It's like, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Hey, JD, thank you for the daily heart. Me. 50 maps. Yeah, this stuff. Hold on. This thing. Whenever we got the lighthouse, when we got, they did the Ranger badge for the new Grafton and Bleasdale reworks, Sunny Meadows for the Nells, we got all of these. You did those 50 times, got it, the ghost correct 50 times, you got a new badge. So I'm hoping they do that with Tanglewood, because more people are going to have that badge more than any other badge. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Hey, JD, appreciate you. Oh, okay. Well, you know, that was fun. I had a great time. Did you guys have fun? We're going to keep going. We're not done or anything. Not yet. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. That was amazing. It was something. We started off the day real strong. Dave, I had somebody coming in telling me that they read that the Tanglewood rework is coming in March. And I said, oh, okay. I mean, that could make sense. Where does it say that? Online. Where? A website. Okay, what website? Google. What reference? Like, what was it referencing when it said that? Zero other information. Always check your sources, friends. If there's anything, I know they went to they went to trustmebro.com and it said it right there. How many times do you need to do each set of challenges? What do you mean? If you're talking about for the trophy stuff, if you're talking about for back there, just once. Yeah, just once. Sammy, thank you for the 2 months. All right, let's do the good wheel before we go in, and then after that, we'll keep playing. Wait, no, Wonder Boy? I swears to it. I think a home sweet home badge for the houses. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I'm a little curious what the badge is gonna, if they do it. We don't know if there are. Listen, we have a possibility for 2 badges coming soon. If they do drops for Tanglewood, and if they do the 50 map thing, or what if they add another Easter egg? The cabinets look so so neat with all the previous event trophies. It looks nice, but I would like to know what we're doing about the new ghosties. Like, are they just SOL? Like, sucks to be you kind of thing? Sorry, don't have room for you. Just sneak them over here on the ground. Just put a couple on the floor. How about yes to all? I'm down. I don't know. They might do an Easter egg. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty sick. All right, we don't have Steam achievement. Right. Yeah. What's tough about that is that they added a achievement to the game that was an achievement if you got all other achievements. So basically 100% of it. But they're adding more ghosts and adding more things. So it's like, do we just say, oh, well, or do they actually go out of the way to change it? You know what I mean? Am I going to play in the next 10 minutes? Probably not anymore. No. All right, let's do the wheel and then we will run another match. Oh, my Lanta. It's been a day, man. It's been a day full of stuff and things. Stuff and things. Open up the little room, customize that with cool. See, I think that that's what they're going to do. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to null and void that. I understand. Listen, I have gotten that like 4 times out of the last like 5 spins. We're not doing that. We're doing more merch. We're doing more merch. Nolan, hello. We're not playing viewers, Pep. Tom, hello. Cannabis, thank you for the 8 months. We're doing merch. We're doing moich. Oh, my Lanta. Chase, thank you for the year, man. All right. Let me enter my information and then we'll get this going. Hey, Dell, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I'll complain about any of the options. All right, I have to do the verification stuff. Yardy, yardy, yar. Ziggy, thank you for the 35. Is there somewhere that yeah, if you go to flashforcemerch.com, or you can just stick around every now and then, there is giveaways done by either me or someone else in the chat. Kind of like right now. Hey, Myling, how are you? I appreciate the verification process, but at the same time, if I'm trying to quickly do a giveaway, yep, auth code. So hyped for the rework. I am too, man. I am too. And I want everyone else to be excited too. I don't want to tell people how to feel. If people are feeling unsure about it, that's totally fine. But just understand that a lot of us are really excited about it. How many money do I have? All of them. I have that many money. All right. Exclamation point, enter in the chat. On the purple side. This one, I don't know if it's possible for me to make this cross-platform. I can always try at some point. I should ask them about that. Why is my logo huge? What the hell? What the hell? Well, I was trying to... I don't know what's going on with the website right now, but this is the shirt that I'm giving away right now. It's this one. The Plushies Attack shirt. I don't understand why the logo is so massive. Larger than life. I hate it here. I hate it here. Thank you guys for the follows. Myling, hello. Dragon, Tosu, welcome in. I'm also going to get my alerts fixed. I don't know why the fonts are so different. What the hell? Oh, isn't it great? He did such a good job. I love it. It was so good. This was right after when Point Hope released. Yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah. A drop event? I need to add it back. Now that I have the new PC stuff, Night Raptor, I have to add it back. Yeah. Kate, GG's. Yeah, I've got to add it back. There's a few things that I still need to add back, which I'm working on slowly but surely. All right. Can we like relax now with some cozy nightmare? Is that okay? I need to add the voting back. I need to add, yeah, there's a few things I still need to add back. This is only like my second or third stream with the new stuff. Why is Toe called Toe? So the reason that we call the purple, my God. The reason we call the frog, the green frog, Toe is because whenever the 2023 Halloween event happened, there was a part of it where we had to go find there was a card that said Toe of Frog. And we needed to go find that inside of one of the maps and then take it and put it in the cauldron. So I started calling him Toe. Yeah. Second official without any issues so far. Yeah. All right. Well, where do you guys want to go? You can just say it in chat since I don't have voting right now. I don't know why I said purple. Don't judge me. It's been a day, okay? It's been a day full of all kinds of stuff and also things. Yeah, you're welcome, of course. Mr. Song, thank you, sir. Woodwind, Grafton, Willers. Point Nope, how dare you? High school, y'all make me sick. I've seen a lot of Camp Woodwind. Let's do Camp Woodwind. And then after that, oh, that's not Camp Woodwind, that's Willow. Maybe after that we'll do Willow. Point Nope. Get out of here. No, let's go to Camp Woodwind. Thank you, Mr. Song. Yeah, there's a few things that are still kind of messed up. I like missing files for certain things that I've programmed or sounds or whatever it may be. So I've got to get it fixed. Relentless, thank you for the biddies. Point Nope is very nice. It is a great looking map. It is a gorgeous map. But I'm really not a fan of getting the ghost on the top 80%, like, sorry, the top 20% of the map, 90% of the time. Oh my God, I'm so fast. I don't know what to do with myself. Oh, my Lanta. All right, let's go. Let's go. Man, it's like training when you're like doing baseball, when you have like weights on a baseball bat and you're swinging it and then you swing without. It's like what it feels when you do APOC 3 to normal. Good God. All right, I don't see any bonus orbs, so let's go. If I get insta-hunted, I'm going to get real upset. No cards, thank God. Hiding spot right there. I heard you. Only mentals like point. Nope. What was that? Was that the baseball? Ooh, it was. All right, you're over here somewhere. Roger that. But the question is where? One of your favorite maps aesthetically? Every floor is great. Slendy's here. Slendy's made an appearance. Russick, thank you for the rose. All right, I'm not exactly sure where this ghost is. Yeah, every floor is great. Ooh, found you. There we go. Slendy will protect us. I hope so. It's one of my favorite blurbs of all time. You like Camp Woodwind? You die every time. It can be hard. It can be a tough go. So stupid. It'd be cool. No. You leave my sanity alone. F off. No. Leave it alone. Why is this event so long? There we go. Damn. It'd be cool if we got a point nope restricted. That would be nice. Yeah, just half the map, and then if you do the upper half, it like lifts you up there. Yeah. He wants me bad? Oh, no, thank you. I'll pass. I'm actually gonna bring you. Oni vibes? You know, that did feel very Oni-ish, didn't it? I gotta agree with you on that one. Did you just cut the... No, okay. Where are you? Are you here? Something's up with my voice. Like something's up with the microphone stuff. It's really delayed. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Whenever you're over in this area and you hear what sounds like a tent flap, always make sure that you check these. Always make sure that you check these because you never know. Yeah. I'm going to need someone to fact check that for me, if you wouldn't mind. Can I get a fact check? If you wouldn't mind. Snake, thank you for the 3 months. If you wouldn't mind. Anybody, just, you know, let me know. No photos or anything, just vocally, let me know. You can't? Damn, all right. Damn. All right, let's see. Let us see. Let us see. Let us see. Hold, please. What website? Oh, are you talking about AskCheeves.com? According to my child, that's correct. Oh my God. All right. Well, let's pretend it isn't Oni. EMF freezing and dots. All right. Well, I've got Dudeskis over there. What difficulty? Now I'm doing Nightmare. Yeah. I'll change the title too. There we go. There we go. Yeah, askcheebs.com. He will give you all the answers and also more of them. Sorry, I'm just making sure the title and stuff is actually changed. Go there, go over there. This, do that, do this, do that. This, that, do this, do that. I literally have the website muted. All right, there we go. Good enough. Oh, hey-oh. How many evidence do you have on, if any? Well, on Nightmare, you get 2. Whoa. All right. Afraid to click the link? Oh, it's real. Oh, it's absolutely real. AskCheebs.com. Oh, yeah. And actually what it does is it redirects to Discord and then it pings him to let him know that somebody asked a question. And then he answers it. It's very real. If the new map is a carnival, that'd be amazing. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. All right, dude. I guess it's still here. Just, I swear to God. It's not even the same sound. Oh, the Mango Man. Classic. Hey. Jerkhole. So I'm not getting freezing. I'm not getting dots. We're not getting EMF. We're not getting... Okay. PTSD. Yeah. The struggles I had earlier. Yeah, a little bit. The Prestige 5. Oh, Tier 1 is definitely rough. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Top Hat. Oh, I can't wait for it either. Yeah. New Tangle is going to be sweet. Oh, shit, my alerts are going off again. What the hell? Oh my God, dude. Hi. Son of a bitch. Would you knock it off? Leave me alone. He's such a bully. This is feeling more and more like an Oni. They can move by the tables? I don't even know at this point. That's our second physical event. This ghost is literally everywhere. Might need a shower after that one. Yeah, my mouth was open. Eek. At this point, I'm just waiting for it to hunt. This freaking guy. What the ghost? A ghost. Going for perfect? I don't know about that. I kind of play it by ear if I want to do a perfect game or not. Depends on how it's going. Who wouldn't want to fly? I don't want that hug. No Ave dens? No, I have 2 Ave dens. Okay. Chromatic aberration. Do I have that on? Hello. Melly, thank you for the follow. Life of Lee, hello. Leela. I don't know what this is. Gotten any evidence? No. 0. None. It's walking around the same area over and over and over again. I think it might not be here anymore, though. Ooh, steppies. But yeah, no UV. On shy. It's moving around. Yeah, see how it's over here now? It sucks. Sucks for sure. Put that there, put that there. Caitlin, thank you for the daily heart me. Very little visual difference. Yeah. See it? Very little difference. Shield, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. I'm not even sure what the hell we're dealing with here. Where are you? Well, let's wait for the motion sensor to go off. Can't catch me. Come on, homie, where you at? I can see all 4 motion sensors, and the ghost is dodging every one of them. Never mind. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Chances of it being that are low. That's cute. Real cute like. Mother. It waits that long to show me dots? What an a-hole. I mean, Oni is still technically on the table. We have not had a ghost fart yet. Well, the ghost is a massive troll. I kind of want to force the hunt at this point. No, that was dots. 100%. Doing a lot of events full figure. He's just doing a lot of events in general. I just saw dots again. What a prick. Reclusive Rue! Thank you for the gifted. Oh, looky. I mean, I could trap it, but it's about to hunt anyway. Spooky Time Pizza, what up, homie? Hey, Faz, I'm good. How are you? Kind of want to wait for it to hunt. I don't use tier 3 incense because preference. I prefer to use tier 2. I like it more. Why do I like it more? Because it doesn't stop the ghost in its tracks. You know what? Yep. Just do it. Oh, now you're going to follow me over here. This dot-covered prick. No. Stay away from my toys. He wants to play. No. He's not allowed. Waiting so we can see it hunt, and then you guys can see the ghost place. But it's share the toys. No, it's not friend. It's not friend shaped. Hey B, how are you? We're not playing with viewers editor. No. The curse is the monkey paw. At this point, I kind of wish that I would have wished to trap the ghost. But I thought, because we're within hunting range, that it would have already done it. And it also evented on me. So my sanity's even freaking lower. Yeah. It's worn out. Oh, okay. Hey, Fad, how are you? Have a good one, Macy. Violent throw? It wasn't even actually that violent. I think it was. I think it's not a Pulte. I think. Just dots. It just did dots again over there. You suck like a lot. Distance, but not power. Yeah, there you go. Oh my God. I hate you so much. Why? Oh, F you, brother. F you. Hold on. Hold. I hope you die twice. Literally twice. I'm so sick of this prick. Good golly, Miss Molly. It's a phantom? What the sh... It's a reverse Oni? Not a single fart ball. Not one. It's an Oni-shaped phantom. Yeah. Wow. Bro, you are such a pain. Yeah, you notice how it kept eventing even though... Wow. It is a fan of Tom. This is correct. Dude does need to chill out. Hey, event one more time, a-hole. It would explain a lot of what's happening right now. Yeah, that's true. I bet you won't event again, jerkhole. I bet you won't do it. Because you suck. You don't have the gall. Never took a photo? No, I wasn't worried about photos at the time. Because it was eventing like an Oni, so we thought, oh, this is probably an Oni. But no. Those were phantom blinks beyond. Do I have all the objectives? That's really all I care about. Nope, not at all. All right, I need 2 sounds, I need 3 photos. Well, this guy sucks. 2 sounds, 3 photos. Let's put that over there. I've got a smudge on hand. Let's grab these guys, put them in there just in case. There we go. Imagine not caring about the media. I know. Screw your perfect games. Your perfect games can go right to hell. How am I not scared? Coffee. Yeah. Hey, Dala. How are you? Hey, what up, CJ? No, you're good. The sound alerts are too expensive. Well, if they were less expensive and could be played more often, how do you think that would go? Time to start making dinner. You're good, Reclusive Brew. I appreciate it. Great and entertaining. Would it? Would it? Tunes in to see Phasmo stream, hears endless amounts of sound alerts. Would it? Why do you wait so long to use the next sanity med? Just making sure that it's actually replenishing. Yeah. Oh yeah, it would be a non-stop blurb fest. Oh yeah. No, that'd be an awful viewing experience. It'd be Dick Spur on steroids. Wants to play catch, play ball? Dad? All right, got that. Hopefully our sanity's up enough. We can start doing the tings. I'm gonna grab this just because and grab one of these. Endless, yeah. All right, so I've got a photo of that. Did I ever see the bone? I don't know if I did. Where's all your friend? Well, my one friend and all of them is probably either at their house or with their family. Yeah. If I'm just guessing. But what do I know? I just work here. Bone. I see no bone. Oh, it's shut the thing. What a jerk. Well, when in Rome. I don't know where it is. Huh, what are friends? I'm not really sure. I don't know where the bone is. Hey, I found the bone. Listen here, dude. Hey, Josh, how are you? Bree, welcome in. Zach, thank you. All right. The ghost is not setting off any of the motion sensors. I don't know where it is. You did like the campfire. Okay, yeah, but it wasn't, you know. Oh, it's literally right here. Hey. Did I just get both of those? Hey, oh, bye, prick. I was just worried about completing the objectives. If I'm ever not going for a perfect game, I always aim to get all the objectives. That's always my goal. There we go. Getting warm, might have to listen, it's just unintentional timing. There's nothing I can do about it.
Welcome back.
Wow, acting like a effing Oni. It never did do the airball event, by the way. It's not like it's a guarantee for other ghosts that they have to do the airball event, but it never did. Now it's hiding. Yeah, it's shamed. It is ashamed. Shame. Ghost in the Machine is the diner badge? Yes. Ghost in the Machine is the Easter egg badge. Yeah. Imagine showing a photo of the Phantom in IRL. Look! Why'd you write ghost under it? There's nothing in it. I swear I saw it. Just say how many times it evented? Yeah. If I go to the detailed stats, 10 times. 10. Was that a Dio? No. No. Yeah. No, that wasn't a Dio. No. No. All right. Now we go to Willow. Let's go to Willers. Willers is our comfort map. 10 events, but 1 hunt. Yeah, I know. I know. I know.
I've got nothing else to report, unfortunately.
I was curious. I was like, is that blood rain? No. Negative, it's not. All right, let's go a little faster on this one. See you, Jenny. Have a good one. Next time I'll be live will be tomorrow night, by the way. Tomorrow night. How many hunts will be in this house? What? Hey, B, thank you for the follow. I don't know, 6? That's a fantastic answer. I'll go with that. 6. That's how many hunts will be in this house. 6. I like that. That's good. See you, Wesker. Have a good one. Of course. All right, let's go. That's funny. Didn't get a note you were live. In my server, I always try to put a notification if you ever miss the ones that are from the platforms themselves. Oh, hello. Did I just see that? All right, ghosties right here. Sounds good. Also, the bone has to spawn upstairs, so we know it's not in the basement. Sometimes I feel, I'm going to be honest with you, Vanya, I don't think that they are. I think it's very real. It feels too genuine. Too genuine. All right, this. Excited to see what the character overhaul brings. I'm excited to hear when that's actually coming, because I thought that we heard the character overhaul was also coming early this year. So it's like, how early is it? Yeah, Song, there's a bug. Yep. Bone has to spawn in the upstairs of Willow. Why? Features. Phas features. If that helps at all. So if you ever find the bone in the basement of Willow, let me know. But I think right now it can't. March, haven't you heard? Is the character overhaul going to change the mechanics of the game? I don't know what it's going to change. I guess it depends on how the player moves. I don't know. We haven't heard much information about it yet, but we will see. Pretty sure it was Q1. I thought it was too. Yeah, I thought I heard the same thing. Hey, touch Nanor. Do eat. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? It's like, are you here's messed up. Are you here? Where are you? That's so freaking weird. I don't know what the hell is going on. No answer. Another feature? I don't know. It seems really strange. Like it's not working the way it should. Overhaul still in internal testing, but it's been over 2 weeks and I can see lots of potential. Yeah, we'll see. Like to see them keep the same janky. Why I know, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, let's see. Give me this. Miss the back bendies. I think most of us are gonna miss the back bendies. Yeah. Tankerwood is in. Well, Tankerwood's in closed beta. Yeah, there's a difference. That means it's closer. Listen, you better still be here. Do I ever get tired of Phas? No, if I did, I would play something else. Yeah, no one's forcing me to play Phas. I play it because I enjoy it. I'm gonna leave and it's gonna walk in the salt. I'm on Nightmare. Yeah, just some cozy, chill Nightmare. We just did the APOC 3 stuff. Why would they take the bendies away? Because it was a jank, like, animation in the first place, and they're trying to make it a little bit more realistic. All right, well, either the ghost is not moving, or it's a wraith. Hard to say. Being able to make snow globes with the whipped cream. Oh my god. Hey, Gak, how are you? My god. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Good, good. Maritella, thank you for the prime. Welcome in. Want to see some Vecna levitation? Well, they showed us a preview of new death animation stuff in the old dev preview that they did. Bro, are you literally not in here anymore? Or are you stuck in a wall? Hold on. Do I have a smudge? I do. All right. I'm looking in the mirror again. Videos helped you improve with the fast journey. Hell yeah, Gek. Let's go. Was that the... Wait. 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 I could have been mistaken what we saw the first time. Absolutely could have been mistaken. You know what I probably saw? I saw a close-up of this and thought it was the one upstairs. Did I mention I hate it here? If I didn't, I do. Just side note. I mean, it makes a lot more sense why it's not doing anything. Casual player problems. Oh, hi, Bone. Son of a bitch. Mistakes are made. Yeah, yeah. I saw a close-up of that, and I thought it was a close-up of that, and I wasn't paying attention enough to see, like, the paintbrushes above it and stuff. That's a big old sag. Hey, I'm Prestige 20, by the way. Don't blame the game. No. That was a me mistake. Nope. When it's the game, I will say it's the game. If it's me, I will say it's me. Hello. Hi. Sorry it took me so long to find the room. Got lost. Prestige 20. I am. Yeah. Prestige System's been out for quite a long time. Let's do this, and let's take the crucifix. There we go. We were just early setting everything up. Why you changed the room? I didn't. I was in the wrong room. Yeah. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Listen, I'm telling you, something is happening with the spirit box, and I don't know what the hell it is. I got it, though. Okay. Yippee skippy. The ghost did set off the EMF in the first floor. Wait, in the first room. Oh, wait. Oh, no. So that's... Okay, that makes a little more sense why I was stayed in here. That's right. Because after I used the mirror, I had an EMF 3 literally right here. But the reason I had EMF 3 here is because it was picking it up from the floor below. Yeah, below. Floor boundaries. Yeah. That, okay. You know what? I don't feel as bad. That makes sense why we thought it was there. I'm just putting these down just so I know where they are. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, official. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. The owner of the house. That's why there's so much salt in the garage. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Jam. Thank you for the follow. Sassy. Hello. Hello, Incubus. Hello. Do I have one of everything? I don't have the dots down there. That's what I'm missing. And we'll grab an extra smudge. Why can't every bone be that easy? Because then it would just be the norm. What up, Debbie? won't be going for too much longer. Sundays are usually my cutoff days. Ooh, UV, I gotta check too. Let's do that. Love the purple card. Dots. Hey, do you have UV on you? Hey! I don't have a camera. It's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. Son of a bitch. Hey, touch the door. Where am I from? East Coast of the United States. How can you find twins with no evidence? The speed. Hearing things happen in multiple different areas far away. Girl Scout cookies? Oh yeah. Tagalongs? Tagalongs are my jam, man. They are like the best. 10 minutes or nothing? No. Tagalong's where it's at. Listen, homie. What the hell? Now it wants to be all feisty? Divine, think of the biddies. So spirit box and nothing else so far. How did I know that that was an event? Because it immediately started walking when the event started. Oh, hey, dots. Ooh, that's... Eek. I don't know. That's really hard to tell. I'm gonna need... I'm gonna need a better video or photo of Ghosty to be able to tell if that's not a phantom or not. We can try for the Dio response. Where are you? Are you here?
From behind.
Where are you? See how delayed that is? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Too late. It's gonna be too late. Yep, I do. I freaking... I went in road. Left the camera over there. I'm gonna have to go get it now. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you?
I'm far from there.
Are you here?
Far from
Real cute. Where are you?
Far from there.
You suck. I hate your face. Hate it. This face is stupid. Just got the Ghost in the Machine badge. Nice. I'm thinking not Phantom, because it doesn't feel like it stalked us. You know? Ghosty! Hey! Hello? Do the thing! Where are you? Are you here?
A closing.
Where are you?
Here in the
Are you here?
in a way.
Are you angry?
Young individual.
Where are you?
Close to it.
Are you angry? Yokai? But I think I'm within hunting range as it is. So we'll go up here. We'll wait for the hunt. It's fine. Don't think it's a Dio. I don't either. No, that's not the one. It didn't try to say what you wanted it to say. Yeah, I don't think it's a Phantom or a Dio. Let's go get one more salt. I could walk it around the garage, but we could throw some in the living room and have the ghosty chases there. That'd be fine. Dad'd be fine. Only follow bottoms. Joke's on you. Think it's gonna be a Phantom? I don't know. That photo is really hard to tell. There it comes. Normal speed. Maddie, hello. Oh, my camera did freeze. Oh shit, that hasn't happened in forever. Oh god. Oh god, ghost, don't come in here. No, no, my camera's frozen. No. No. Don't come in here. I'm naked. Man, my camera hasn't frozen in so long. There we go. Damn. Man, it's been forever since that happened. What the hell? Did you see the ghost? I was too busy messing with the camera. We back. Yeah, sorry. Just stone cold whenever the ghosty tries to come in. That's right. That's right. Too visible for a phantom? Yeah. I gotta figure out why the hell that happened now. I get it probably has to do with where the camera's connected to the cam link. It walked this way though, right? And it didn't step in the salt? Yeah, so there's your wraith. Yeah. What was that? A ghost. Yeah, see? Walked right over the salt. Nothing. There we go. Groovy. Why not checking for orbs? Because A, we already did. B, we can only get 2 pieces of evidence on Nightmare, and I have dots, which means that it can't be a mimic. Yeah. It's a wraith. Yeah, it's a wraith. Man, I gotta figure out what the hell's going on with that now. I don't want that to ever happen again and again. Yikes. Yikers. Oh, whatever, it's fine. I know I said I'd go for everything, but... Am I wrong for liking Wraith? No, Wraith's a good ghost. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome back.
I dig a Wraith.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
Nice. All right. Excuse me? That's going to be the last one, friends. I appreciate you if you hung out anywhere else. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Eric. Why is that in audio? Hi, Baho. Oh my God. I usually try to end close to 4, but we went over a little bit because I started a little bit late. Yeah. But all the love, friends. If you guys are not already a part of the server, please make sure that you do. Check out the socials. Check out the Midnight Society with all the amazing peeps that are here. But yeah, let's go find someone to raid. Much love, friends. Thank you. Let's go. Wonder if there's a way for me to test with the camera freezing. If like I can put it through like a test. Of course. Thank you, Phantom. No, thank you all. I appreciate it, man. There we go. There we have it. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, if I ever change anything with the schedule, I always put it inside of the server. And I even have a channel that is dedicated to my schedule. So if you guys never need to see it, is there. Dom, hello. Hello. I eat hello. Have a great rest of the weekend. You have a great rest of your weekend. I might be working from home tomorrow because if it snows enough and it's messy outside, I'm not driving in it. Not driving in it. We will see. Oh, I am going to be posting probably after stream is done. I'm probably going to go and post my Rewind 99 video. Yeah. So if you guys are following the tubes, it'll get posted over there. What song is this? Do exclamation point song. Did you pull the giveaway winner? I did. Yeah, we already did it. We did a merch giveaway. Yeah. Thank you, Juju. Thank you, friend. Sent some snow to the UK. It might not be in the right form by the time it gets there. Just saying. Oh, let's see. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me take a look and then we'll go say hi to somebody. Still doing APOC 3? No, we're ending the stream. Nope. We tried it. We failed. I tried my hardest though. I did my best. I did my best. Another day, another time, another dollar. It's what it does, man. Yeah, we try what we can. See you, Grizz. Have a good one. Thank you, Grumpy. All right. We are going to say hi to... Oh, that's where we'll go. I'm sure she just started. She's a homie. She's a homie. Do I have a channel on YouTube for VODs? I do. Yeah, if you go to that link right there, that has all of my past streams. So any past stream that I have had for the past couple years is posted there. So, yep. Yep. All right, so she's in the middle of eating, and I don't want to raid. I hate to raid into that, but she's just gonna have to deal with it. She's only been live for like 10 minutes. All right. I can only imagine. I don't know. She might be playing Phas today. She might not. I think she will be eventually. Yeah. Still obsessed with the 24-hour channel. I appreciate you watching, friend. I'm going to add some more VODs to it soon. Yeah. Oh, no. Ads are running. Oh, no. Ads. We raid. All right. Friends, if you're a follower, the first raid message is for you. If you're a sub, the next one's for you. Creepy tier 3 is yours, is there as well. Let us go say hi to a friend. She is just started. She just went live. So that'll be great. Great little starter to the day. But thank you guys. I appreciate all the follows. Welcome in, friends, all new friends. Again, if you're not a part of any of the things and you want to see the things, all the links are available. Oh, you're good, gamer. Oh, the happy birthday. You're good. No worries. But now you guys are awesome. Thank you all so much. We have like 3 more streams for the month. I think like 3 more-ish, something like that. But yeah, let's go say hi. Y'all are awesome. I'm going to go hang out with Mr. Alex because I don't think the rest of my family's home. They might be home soon. I'm not really sure. But yeah, you guys are amazeballs. I will see you guys tomorrow for more fun, the weekly, more shenanigans. Also, I'm going to be posting the Rewind 99 video literally after I'm done stream. Literally after I'm done. Noob! I know. I appreciate you, friend. I know. But you guys are amazing. I love you all. Goodbye.